Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Space Cowboy 17. Welcome back to the channel. In this one, it is the Dallas Cowboys Mock Draft 8.0. We're going to be using the FanSpeak on the Clock Draft Simulator Premium Edition. If you haven't seen the last mock draft, please make sure to go to the top right of the screen right now to go check out Mock Draft 7.0 if you haven't gotten that. So with that being said, I want to make sure that you're aware of the scenario that's going down. The Dallas Cowboys will be trading down, okay? They'll be trading down with the Atlanta Falcons. So basically this is what's going on. The Dallas Cowboys will send their first round pick to Atlanta. Atlanta will send their first and second to us. So we are gaining an extra pick for trading down a couple of picks. So with that being said, let's get straight into the scenario.
Brad, it's wonderful and I'm elated.
And here's the commissioner to make it official.
The Dallas Cowboys select
Will Hernandez, guard, UTEP. Okay, so the Cowboys need to strengthen their strength. How do you do that? Draft a guard. A left guard at that. Will Hernandez does play left guard at UTEP. I know he has moved around, but for the most part, that's the position he's been playing. I think that he would be a solid addition to the offensive line. Ever since Ronald Leary had left to the Denver Broncos, the Cowboys have failed to address the left guard position with ease. Yes, I understand we started with Chaz Green. He did all right. Then we switched over to Jonathan Cooper. He did all right. The biggest issue is just the development of chemistry, and if you can get a young guy in here to help provide a long-term stability rather than we have short-term options such as in Jonathan Cooper and Chaz Green, I personally feel that the Dallas Cowboys could be set for a couple more years at the offensive line position so long as everyone remains healthy. So with that being said, I'm going with Will Hernandez in the first round after trading down.
Brad, it's wonderful and I'm elated.
And here's the commissioner to make it official.
the Dallas Cowboys select
Deon Cain, wide receiver, Clemson. Okay, so here's my thing with taking Deon Cain in the second round, okay? The Cowboys look like they're making a maneuver to go after a receiver early in the draft. But also, this is the thing that we need to also focus on. We need to give Dez Bryant and Dak some help, okay? That means we need to get quality receivers, young receivers that can come in and create competition with them. Now, a lot of people are getting on Deon Cain for not being that #1 guy ever since Mike Williams left Clemson a year ago. Here's the thing that I have about that, okay? The Cowboys can mold Deon Cain into a #1, and Deon Cain doesn't have to have this huge load on his shoulders when he comes into Dallas, okay? Yes, I understand he has a second-round pick, but I feel that the Dallas Cowboys need to invest in a solid #2 receiver so that Dak and this offense can get more productive and ensure that we can make our playmaking ability at the wide receiver position much better.
Brad, it's wonderful and I'm elated.
And here's the commissioner to make it official.
the Dallas Cowboys select
Dallas Goedert, tight end, South Dakota State. Okay, so #1, I know how to pronounce his name now. And #2, yes, I'm going early with the tight end in this draft. Why? Because I'm going to follow the San Diego/LA way of easing a tight end out of an offense. Let me put it to you this way. They did this with Antonio Gates and Hunter Henry. Antonio Gates was the #1 guy. They drafted Henry early in the second round of the 2016 NFL draft, and they slowly eased him out of the offense, that being Gates. Same thing we can do with Witten. Basically, draft this guy, let him develop under Witten, and slowly integrate him into the offense, and then slowly let Witten just go off into the sunset. The thing is that the Cowboys have failed to utilize James Hanna and Jeff Swaim, however you pronounce it. And what about Rico Gathers? Yeah, exactly. What about him? Because Rico Gathers has yet to prove himself in the regular season, and I'm not trying to say he's going to suck, but at the end of the day, we don't know what Rico's going to provide for this team. For all we know, he could be a bust, or he could be an astounding success. But at the end of the day, he's a project player, and I would rather go with a guy that I know in this draft can do something special if you mold him correctly, than go with a guy that is an unproven experimental commodity. I'm not trying to disrespect Rico, but that's how I feel about him. So with that being said, let's go get a tight end that can stretch the field, because our other tight ends are aging and we're not utilizing them properly, and if it has to mean we got to go early with a tight end to do this, I'm fine with that. So I'm going with Dallas Goedert in the second round.
Brad, it's wonderful and I'm elated.
And here's the commissioner to make it official.
The Dallas Cowboys select
Deshaun Elliott, safety, Texas. Okay, so if the Cowboys are not going to be going after a safety in the free agent market, they definitely have to go after one in the draft. If they're not going to take one early, they're going to have to look at getting some guy in the mid-rounds of the draft, whether that be the Armani Watts of the world. But with that being said, going after Deshaun Elliott would probably be a solid option, especially for Chris Richard and him building this young secondary, okay? Look, he has a physicality to him. He has this build of an NFL quality safety, and he has playmaking ability. He has the ability to tackle. He has the ability to create turnovers. He's had 9 total interceptions in just over 26 games. That's huge, especially at a safety position. The biggest issue I see with him is the fact that when it comes to his playmaking ability, sometimes he just doesn't make the right adjustments. However, that's more of a technique thing that can definitely be fixed on the NFL level. And I think Chris Richard can definitely fix that. So at the end of the day, I think that his body of work would be a solid addition to this Cowboys secondary. And that's why I'm taking him. And that's why I think going with this guy at safety would help solidify the position a bit more.
Brad, it's wonderful, and I'm elated.
And here's the commissioner to make it official.
the Dallas Cowboys select
Kendrick Norton, defensive lineman out of Miami. Okay, so this guy, I actually just found this out, is the son of Ken Norton Jr., the former Cowboys player in the early 90s and that dynasty. Yeah, that guy. So let me put this into perspective, okay, with him as a player. He's a solid run stopper, okay, and I think that's something that the Cowboys need in their defensive line rotation. Now, he's got a good combination of his size and strength, and he has that ability to cause havoc in the middle. Now, I will say that he does have a bit of an issue in terms of his feet work and all that other stuff in terms of being quick and being able to get to the ball as fast as possible. Okay? Again, that's another thing about being able to fix that technique, something that Rod Marinelli has done phenomenally well with defensive linemen. And I think that getting this guy and giving him to Rod Marinelli, I know this is probably his last year, he can definitely mold him into a solid run stopper with this defensive line rotation.
Brad, it's wonderful, and I'm elated.
And here's the commissioner to make it official.
the Dallas Cowboys select
Andre Smith, linebacker out of North Carolina. Okay, when it comes to Andre Smith, for those that don't know, I might as well get it out of the way. He had a very, very bad knee injury that ended his season in 2017, okay? And you might be saying, oh my god, he's Jalen Smith 2.0. Well, it's not as bad as Jalen's, but I will say that it definitely costed him a ton of draft position. So, he came off of a solid sophomore season, and he looked pretty much to become that top guy in the class of being a solid linebacker. Let me put this into perspective. He got injured in week 2, and before he got injured, he had 21 total tackles and 1 interception before he suffered the season-ending knee injury, which is pretty solid. I mean, look, in 2016, for retrospective, he started in 12 of 13 games. He compiled 113 tackles, 6 of them were for losses, 3 pass breakups, and he was considered one of the top 20 inside linebacking recruits for his class. Okay, I understand that's pretty much meaningless, but look, I think that this guy can bring he could bring physicality to this team, something that we need at all phases of our defense. And I feel that, look, at the end of the day, this guy is going to end up becoming the next Anthony Hitchens if we take him, because he'll be molded by our team to become better, to, you know, recover, and all that other stuff. So I think that taking him would be a solid option, especially in the 4th round. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little mock draft. I know it was much more longer because I had to cover all those picks. But hey guys, you know what? I want to see what you guys have. Go down below to the link that I have to the NFL On the Clock Draft Simulator and tell me who you picked. Tell me if you traded down. Tell me if you traded up. I want to know what you guys did. Leave that in the comment section below. Grade how I did. I want to know. Give me an honest critique. With that being said, I've been Space Cowboy 17, your host, and I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace out, guys.